But let's get into UniBank. The Attorney General says, this is the best I can do because I don't know what may happen tomorrow. For those cases that I refused to accept the money, we lost. We've lost one. I mean, Beige has gone to the appeals court and secured a judgment in their favor. So let me take this and we are good to go. Joe Jackson, you know this story very well. We've talked about the banking sector cleanup a number of times. You think there's a good deal?
Before I talk about a good deal, I want to give you two perspectives to this issue. Let's start off by saying we spent 30 billion in the banking sector cleanup. Let's now say that the cost of money is a simple, today's rate, 15% per annum. Just a ballpark figure. Do you realize that that debt is costing us 4.5 billion per annum? Now, if you take this simple calculation, my first question to you is that what brings us benefit when we want to fix the road, the Accra-Kumasi road, when we want to fix the Accra-Winneba road, and all the hundreds of roads that we could name in this conversation? What is of benefit to us? To collect the money or to jail someone? I've always been on the side of collecting the money.
How about collecting the money? How about collecting the money and also punishing people?
You see, the challenge is that
you can freeze their assets.
All that you can freeze the assets. All I know is that what happens as soon as we get close to conviction, the chiefs of your village turn up. Your pastor and your church members turn up. Even when you have been convicted and we've agreed to take money and you have not paid, there will be a desperate push to have you freed. I'm just saying that I need the money more than I need the punishment. And that the money is costing me. If Ghana was an institution that I was running, I would look at that 30 billion loss and I'll say to my lawyers, collect as much money as you can. On the other hand, the flip side is that if you're saying giving people a pass, wouldn't it be a perverse incentive for this sort of behavior to continue? So really, we're looking at two things. The reality is I want my money back. The other side is that I feel anger that these guys are going to get a free pass. I feel angry that they might go on and even flaunt their wealth. From where I sit, I want my money first. I'll deal with my feelings later. Then the question comes, and somebody will say, but Joe, okay, is the Attorney General getting us the best deal possible, even if he's collecting the money? Frankly, I don't know. It is only somebody who has a seat at the table of the negotiation who can tell us, because Imani has done some analysis that says that, listen, we're getting a very bad deal.
So let me bring in Franklin Cudjoe at this point. Yes, Franklin, let's look at this whole deal. And I've read what Bryce Simmons has put together. But let me get your take on it, Franklin.
Well, sorry. Once again, good morning. Ordinarily, I'll definitely be giving a lot of praise to Dr. Yini and Dr. Sa, two interesting academics who have become Attorney General. Very important, and I think they are exuding the law. But I think it's also important to also pause and ask a few questions. I mean, we praise them for being transparent. I mean, to even get this level of detail, we should be grateful. occasionally telling us how the investigations are going. That's transparency enough. But I think they can go a bit further when it comes to the mathematics of collecting debt. And I think that one, I don't know, maybe we need to have the Bank of Ghana at the table, the receivers at the time also at the table, and maybe an independent representative from the CSO, and I'll be happy to have a representation from Imani do that, and even the media as well. For the simple reason, I mean, we don't know. This 60% has negotiated. Is it the fact that are these monies that have been paid way back, or is this new money? We don't know. You understand? We don't know the basis for getting to the 60-40 percentage deal. I don't know whether it's a consultancy, organizations like that. Now we get into consultancies and we discuss payment rates with consultants. These things happen, but this is not one. This is money owed the state, and it is important that we reclaim as much as we can. I would have thought the basic rule would have been, if anybody accepted, in the case of UniBank, then I accept that, look, we are at fault. But that's basically what they said. We are at fault, and we are willing to pay. Having said that, I think the basic rule essentially should have been that they should actually be surcharged for the money they owed us all this while. And I use a simple rule. Maybe 25% being slapped on the 100% that we should have gotten anyway, not 60%. Having said that, it is also important to recognize that a day before the revocation of the UniBank's license, I think July 30th, 2018, they themselves wrote, the shareholder, the owner of the bank, wrote to the government of the day that, in fact, we are set. In fact, we think that the money we owe is actually 4.9 billion Ghana cedis. They even suggested that if they had to first sell their assets, everything that they own, then they could come back to, let's say, 3.92 billion Ghana cedis. Question is, and maybe Joe can help here, what exactly has happened that now we are being told that the figures will rise to some 2.something billion? Basically, that's what we are being told. And so it's important we serve civility to the numbers. I think that's where my colleague Brad is coming from. If you look at all the figures, that the government of the day's review at the time was that the total exposure UniBank's issues basically was about 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. Even that, in our estimation, is too low. But having said that, they accepted a letter. A letter is already published that, we know we pay 4.9 billion, so we can work with that. You sell everything we own, then you get that money back into the bank. Well, the government had another idea. Maybe it's one of the things we also need to interrogate. The way that whole process was managed, there's an ethical aspect of it, which I think was problematic. Which is why I find Danny's point, even though a bit sensible, quite annoying, because they spent all this time just looking for people to jail and then wasting time on collecting our money. You understand? So I think it is important that Dr. Uni, my good friends, they've done well by telling us all that is happening. But please, I want to know. We want to know what's the basis for this 60%. Don't tell us that, if you don't reclaim it, it's not true. It's not true that we will lose their money forever. This is their asset. There are people responsible. There must be, which is why the criminal aspect of the case must actually stay while you look for this money. You understand? So I totally disagree with them. I don't think the basis for reclamation makes economic sense, especially when the people have accepted that they actually indeed did mismanage funds. Don't forget that UniBank had its own other sister bank that they were basically cycling money given to these companies, and they were not paying back. Who does that? I mean, I think it's important to recognize, and I know that before we spoke at the time that I wasn't convinced. I think it is important that now that they've agreed and they did owe the state, they should pay. And I suspect they should 100% or 25% surcharge. That's the rule. At least, according to Frank. Actually, it's not just frankly. If you go back to the Ghanaian rules, right? If you are surcharged by the law, really, that if you are surcharged for these kinds of things, you pay 100% plus another charge at the bank rate. And the 25% I propose is actually if you look at the bank rate, Bank of Ghana rate too, it's not even commercial bank rate too, even though they got the money much lower than probably at the commercial bank rate of 25%. I think 25% is fair. 100% plus 25%. And let's know exactly what the sums are. We don't know what the sums are because this is 3%. We don't know. Is it old money or new money? You see? Okay. So that's our issue.
Okay. Joe Jackson, finally, in 1 minute. I mean, Franklin makes the point. 100% and 25% interest. You agree?
I agree. I would have agreed with him if there was evidence that can be paid. Listen, we should take the most money we can get. The argument is is this deal good enough? I say always collect the money. The argument can only be, is this the best deal we could have had? More money is better for us. After all, it's the money we are after. So nobody can argue with more money. But I will always make sure that I will take as much money as I can get. And the only argument can be, was this the best deal or did they get a pass?
Okay.